Hello and welcome to the Traders Room for May the 2nd, 2019. Let me now refresh my page and see if it'll give me the watch page so that I can be sharing this specific URL as soon as this live stream recognizes that I'm up and alive. So this is an unlisted live stream for the members of the Intro to Crypto's alerts package. There's the link. Now I can share it in our Discord and then I'll dig into the data. And while I am doing that, let's leave this disclaimer up here and I'll just be back in a second. I'm going to start off today's episode with some research that I've been putting together here. This is going to be a long live stream, so get yourself a glass of water. And I'm going to start off with some research that I was doing here just because I want to know the answer. And you'll see I have an arrow set to this, the break of this top formation here that, of course, we can see in hindsight, it's a beautiful top formation. At the same time, Bitcoin is making a bottom formation and taking off. We are looking at the price charts here from the beginning of 2016 until March of 2017. Let me grab my spectacles. And I'm going to compare this against two other charts now and get some perspective on this. I was studying this very same date here in the altcoin market cap for the same time period from the beginning of 2016, and this ends in the January 2017. And I was studying what happened here at the beginning of 2016, the trend all the way up here until March and the beginning of April of 2016. The altcoin market cap pulled back a little bit and then it surged up and made a top formation right at the same time that we saw on the BitShares chart. That BitShares was a top formation and coming down from there, and that Bitcoin was going on to crush the alts for the rest of that year. And I want to also take perspective on that very same date by looking at the Bitcoin dominance chart. So we have three different charts to look at. And they're all set up for the same time frame, 2015 to 2016. This could be some of my trouble. 2016 to 2017. So my research and preparation before the live stream was out of whack. Now let's research those dates again, because at the beginning of all this time in Bitcoin dominance really fell through this time. From March. Okay, I gotta get that out of there because it's not in the other charts on purpose. There, now I'm into the right time frame, and it's not nearly as. So the Bitcoin dominance really matched that 2016. Where's my May 2016 run up? My apologies. I thought I had some genius stuff going on there. but I was actually out of whack by a year for the Bitcoin dominance. So Bitcoin dominance 2016 was running up until June. What happened there? Let's review this again. From 2016 until June, the dominance was dropping. The dominance was dropping through this period as altcoins were going up. Through this period, Bitcoin dominance was dropping. Same thing here. Bitcoin dominance was dropping. Right till that point in March. Then in March and April, we had this consolidation and altcoin prices came back. And I know that in the altcoin market cap, we had the top formation, and the market cap itself made a top formation and came back. At the same time that BitShares made a top formation and it came back. And at the same time that Bitcoin dominance was increasing. It really is all over the place, not in a big trend here for this whole time, which makes this reading more difficult now. So from May until June, mid-May till July, Bitcoin dominance was going up. May till July, Bitcoin dominance was going up because Bitcoin price was going up. May till July, altcoin market cap was going up as prices stayed pretty much sideways. A little bit of movement here going on, some excitement. These big, what I thought were pre-pumped candles, and we were going to the moon at this time. Then the dominance came back until October, and there is that point there in October. There's that point in October. So the dominance was in a downtrend and is at its low, and when it made this 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, that's where things shifted. The dominance increased, Bitcoin price increased, the alts were increasing in market cap through this period. No, they were dropping in market cap from October to December until the beginning of 2017. Alts were dropping in market cap. Then they made a bottom formation. Then they're taking off. They made a bottom formation, but prices continued to go down. So this is remaining consistent with my earlier observation. So I'm glad I've come to that same conclusion here, where prices made a potential bottom formation. Altcoin prices made a bottom formation in their overall market cap, and the market cap started to go up from December. Okay, this is just a little bit out of whack in time. No, it wasn't. This is true. The altcoin market cap was going up and pressing against 3 times off this high, ascending wedge triangle. So from December until March, in this example anyway, BitShares was continuing to go down while the overall altcoin market cap was going up. Bitcoin was going up so fast it was bringing up the altcoin market cap. That means that they were falling, but not falling as fast as before. So they were actually rising against Bitcoin in market cap, and which we can see. And this is the split between the US dollar, Bitcoin, and the altcoin when you're going back and forth and trying to figure out those 3D puzzles there. It is confusing. And what I'm trying to do here is get down to the moments when we're having a consolidation in these 3 things at the same time, so that I can tell when we're having those big shifts. So I can tell this moment, sell everything. This isn't a bottom formation. It's not going to be a consolidation and starting to go higher. We're seeing a split that is lining up as a bottom formation in dominance. It's lining up as a top formation in altcoin market cap. And it's also lining up as a top formation in the altcoin itself. This is 3 steps, 3 sure steps that the altcoins are going down versus Bitcoin. We don't want to be holding altcoins. Sell them at whatever loss there is, because you're going to gain better if you were to be holding Bitcoin. So this is an example from 2015 to 2016 range, checking out what happened the last time Bitcoin made these kind of patterns in the background. And let me just switch to a different chart so I can pull back to the 2015 charts. Here we are of Bitcoin. Clear this off. Turn this off. And here we are into just the area chart of Bitcoin. Sometimes this lets you see things the other one won't or doesn't. And certainly at the larger time frames, it smooths things out. So you're not seeing how much it's pulling back as much. You're just seeing the price. And this kind of ascending wedge triangle, and then the breakout, and then another a larger ascending wedge triangle here, the same phenomenon, ascending wedge triangle here, just getting squeezed right to the point, bam, off it goes. And so these kind of ascending wedge triangles in an ascending curve is really fantastic. This is what we're setting up for right now. And if this is the case, then we may be in a situation where the Bitcoin dominance is now making a formation. The altcoin market cap is making a formation at the same time that all of our alts are making this formation. This is the starting premise for today's research. And today's research is going to be hitting up Binance, because Bitcoin is just taking off. Here's our background. It's just taking off. Let's go into a current view of Bitcoin blasting off right now. And I want to compare it to Bitstamp. So Bitstamp is matching it. If we stay in close, it's matching and blasting off. Now we'll see what's going on with the alts. Are they going to get crushed right now? But when we zoom out to the, what is this, 4-hour time frame now, this divergence is still in play. This still hasn't worked itself out yet. One hasn't caught up with the other. One hasn't fallen back to the other. That they're staying out of step but in lock is good. And I really want to watch for when that lock breaks and they are not in, and they start coming out of step. I want to watch what everything else is doing. So today we're going to be going and zooming into today's chart for the market cap. Let's do the 1-day view. I'll clear this off. Go to the 1-year view. So now we're looking at today. Man, that looks bullish. The altcoin market cap is making a huge start and a run up. That's a bottom formation breakout. Did we have a big bottom formation in altcoins market cap way before? What happened then? So we had the bottom formation November 2016, and it started its way up. Even though we had this pullback there from September, but remember we saw that in BitShares, and BitShares went down while Bitcoin went up. We're breaking out of a bottom formation right now. We're not coming out of a top formation. Let's go back to that 1 year, 6 months. This is breaking out of a bottom formation. Altcoin market cap is increasing. So they're at least staying level with Bitcoin while Bitcoin's going up. This is what it's telling me at a minimum. Now, today's Bitcoin dominance. The 1-year view. Strong. Top formation. 6-month view. Gaining strength. Altcoins are holding their position. This is gaining strength. So that means the altcoins should be going up from here. Wow. Bitcoin dominance way back then. I didn't have this perspective before. Excuse me. So there's a lot of room for Bitcoin dominance to assert itself. Interesting. I'll continue to watch that. Let's zoom out to that same view in the longer term of altcoin market cap. We had way more altcoin market cap back. The thing that I noticed most about this is the incredible volume underneath all of these altcoin prices right now, this altcoin market cap. This is more volume than we've ever had in altcoin. You know, this is the big accumulation, quiet accumulation by the industrials. This is the big guys stepping in, quietly accumulating. You can see the altcoin market cap increasing. Bitcoin dominance, and you see the volume on this is actually down from before relative. I don't know where they get the data and how they accumulate that though. So these are broad observations to start off with, so that now we can go into these markets, zoom out, and see if there are any alerts that match our system. There's always something to trade, but you don't always need to be in the market. Right now, holding Bitcoin is a better thing to do than holding the alts, it looks like, still, just in this last couple weeks. So when we're zooming into these altcoin prices, I am doing it with trepidation that I'm looking for a bottom formation here. I don't see it. This is looking like it's sliding off from here. And if Bitcoin dominance, where we go, Bitcoin dominance is making a bottom formation and breaking out. Every time it made the bottom formation and broke out higher, altcoin market cap from 2015 here pulled back. Wow, this is a great chart. Daily. Dominance really took a big, huge dive here through that bull market run, and Bitcoin has never really recovered. Altcoins just smashed it in terms of market share, and Bitcoin hasn't recovered. So is this something that we're going to be dropping off of, and the altcoins are going to be stepping up out of these bottom formations? We would have to see these bottom formations confirming now as we're going through our study. So many monitors, I lose my thing I'm working on sometimes. Ah, I see, I didn't have it open. Right now, we have 0 alerts in our alert system. Instead, what I've been doing is going through and categorizing the markets in a more broad way, looking for those that are passes, near fails, and fails, and categorizing them this way. Going through the whole list so I can quickly go through and look at the chart pattern, and then I'm tracking from day to day which ones were passes, near fails, and fails, so that we can get a pie chart of and a direction of the overall market as we're going through this thing. So it's not just one market that I'm favoring, but it's the overall direction of the trend change right now. And as I go through this quickly now and update this, I'll add some commentary in, and we should come up with a few additional markets now that are actually are alerts that we should be paying attention to and should be marking in as a trade. But right now, I'm anticipating that Bitcoin dominance is increasing. Even though altcoin market cap is increasing, I think that the alts are going to be going back against Bitcoin now for the next bit. This is what I'm studying. And then we're studying to see when does this breakout show that the alts are going to be going up with Bitcoin, And it looks great. Like this is a really nice pattern that we're shaping up out of here, that it's come up off of this trend line. Is great. Kind of like this spot here that it did a fail retest back and then it's pulled up more, but it gives us a very clear range and a decision point that we can start to watch over the next week or two, perhaps, however long it takes, for the altcoin market cap to be breaking above these levels. Let's see what it ends up doing. And then, of course, the Bitcoin dominance. This is a more clear line on the chart to be drawing. It's actually broken that trend line, but not broken above the others yet. So it has resistance at key levels here. It's got to bounce off of. It's got a few levels to be breaking its way through right now. So there's another thing that we'll continue to watch over the next week and pull all these things together. Okay, so I've got that spreadsheet over in the other panel, and I can quickly go through these to say that ADA remains a pass in that it's not broken below its 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. It's sitting on top of historical support and resistance, kind of good, but it's not making a formation that's anything we can trade. With Bitcoin taking off and the dominance increasing, this is probably going to pull back. So depending on where your entry is, depends on what you'll do now with the trade. ADX is a near fail still, so it stays in the near fail category. AGI to me is still a near fail, even though it's starting to stage up and do something. AMB fail, and it is marked as a fail in the spreadsheet. It has to pick up above this 805 now to get up into a near fail category, and it stays near fail for a while until it breaks above its new 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. So once you get down into those fail territories, it's a work to get out of it. This is a near fail and potentially a 1, 2, 3 bottom. It's given us a nice range to work with, so I like it just because it's come to these historical support and resistance levels all the way along and making it a potential 1, 2, 3 bottom formation in here. APPC is marked as a pass in the spreadsheet. If it comes down and starts getting near these levels, it'll be switched down to a near fail. But for now, I like it. And it's good one to be watching and put on that, okay, maybe in 3 weeks this is going to be breaking out and could be great to do something. If you're a swing trader, maybe you're watching now for it to come back down to the 1100, 1130 level for your fading your way into that. Ardor, and feel free to combine any of these. Ardor looks terrible. It's weaker and is marked as a near fail, a little bit lower than this, and I'd have to mark it as a fail. So that is more bearish. If I could do the quantum computer and give it a 0.5 instead of a 1 or a 0, this would be on the edge of going lower because Bitcoin's pressing this up. Good to see it's holding its own, but that's not so nice. Now, this is actually, if I go into the 4-hour bar view, this is actually a sell signal, one of the sell signals in this market. So we had the buy signal back here as it was breaking out. So in this range here was our buy signal, depending on how tight you put it in, but you can see the level. And then this, now the sell signal, one of them is the break of the trend line, the break of the 3-point trend line. You can sort of fuzz it a bit here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 points on that trend line. So if it breaks that, that's a sell signal. The other one is a break of this top formation, this consolidation. The other one you could look at is the potential to sell a bit of it on the exponential moving average cross on the 4-hour time frame. It may be that Bitcoin's force is going to push this back a bit. So this top formation is key to be watching. However, in our study, basic attention token still is green. It's still a hold, because in the study we're focusing on the exponential moving average crossover on the 12-hour time frame. So it gives it a bit extra time, a bit of extra space to break top formations, retest things, and go up. Look where it crossed through these moving averages even, and there was no need to be getting out of that trade. And I want to be able to give those markets that are doing well, I want to give them that space to do that pullback and retest without jumping in and out, just for my own personality. And I go over that 4-hour cross and all those different exits so that you can select from that plethora of options. B, this is near fail. What are we at now? B, C, P, T. Oh, I missed a few. I didn't have my favorites. I didn't have it filtered properly here. Let's go back, because I did not do a few. I'm just going to blast through them. AGI, near fail. I've got it marked as a pass. I'm going to move it down to it, and it shouldn't be a pass. Maybe it's because this big green candle, I gave it a pass, but it's near to failing. It's near those lows, so I'm going to move that down to a near fail instead of a pass. Aeon, near fail appropriately. AMB is a fail. APPC is a near fail because of where it's coming back to these levels. If it was ticking up higher, I would make it into a pass. But now, looking at it this way, even though I like this channel and I'm watching it, I have to move it back to a near fail because it's so near to failing. Ardor, also a near fail, and a tick or two lower, and I have to mark it as a fail. ARC, a near fail, and there's that quantum. How can you say that's near failing? One more tick lower, and I got to mark that as a fail. So it is marked as near fail, but there's a few of them now that are terrible. ARN is a pass. It's above these levels. It's kind of a near fail relative to these levels here, though. AST is also a near fail, and picking up a little bit. I like that. Atom is too new, but it's not a complete fail. Basic attention token. BCHABC is a pass. Then BCPT, not that one. This one I had marked as a pass, and I'm going to move it also to a near fail. BLZ, fail. Actually, this continues to be a fail. It's already a fail. BNB is a pass because it's so high up above, and we're watching for the 3-point uptrend break. We're watching for that top formation breach. We're watching for the 12-hour exponential moving average crossover. But also, should you be interested, you may have been paying attention to the 4-hour exponential moving average crossover, which actually turns out to, in this case, instead of whipsawing like crazy, it gave a pretty good entry and a pretty good exit there out of that spot so far. We'll see how that turns out, if that was a better idea, or the 12-hour exponential moving average crossover, maybe even the daily, so you're really giving it lots of space and room. For my own part, in my own back studies, it was the 12-hour exponential on the 60-20 configuration that gave me the best fudge difference between staying in markets long enough and getting out of them soon enough so that I'm not giving up too much of my profit. But that's different for everybody who's trading it, so I give you those options to check out. For me, this one's looking pretty toppy, but when I'm going through this count, it passes. That's it. That's all it gets is a pass. I'm not doing any trading studies on this, and it wouldn't be an alert because it's not a bottom formation now. It's not an add-on position. It really has to come back a long ways, make a consolidation before that can turn into another alert for us, even if it is taking off. Banker Network token is a fail and failing more. This is a fail, BQX, and failing more. So if I could turn up the fail on that, that would be a good indicator. This is a pass. The BRD. BTC Pax. This is another stable coin that's out of whack compared to the stable coin induced prices by Tether. BTC true US dollar out of whack. BTC something other US dollar stable coins out of whack. Another stable coin that I have no idea what's going on with this one. It really got wrecked. And then BTC USDT, which is even out of whack for itself. So take these things more roughly, take smaller positions, leave your stops wider. And this is a pass. What are we looking at now? Bitcoin Gold. It's a pass. It's got higher highs. It's got, higher lows here. It's making this potential 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. It passes the mustard. BitShares, however, is right on the edge of it is a near fail. And, it is so close to going down to lower prices. A tick more up of Bitcoin. We'll see what goes on, because I'm anticipating, as a background, that Bitcoin is running out of places to run. It's played a lot, but it's going to be coming up to these levels and consolidating, and it may be at that time that the alts are going to be taking off and going up. So the Bitcoin dominance would be pulling back from here if that's the case, and then the altcoin market cap would continue breaking out and going higher from here and higher from here and higher from here as Bitcoin loses dominance and the altcoins start to rise in price against it. Whoops, wrong chart. Where are we? BitShares. Okay, so this is current day BitShares. This would be a bottom formation right this minute now, and we would be watching inside this for indicators that are giving us that divergence confirmation. So that's on the... There's our divergence confirmation for BitShares. Something to gives us the earliest kind of indicator that things are turning around the other direction. So even though we're going down, the momentum is actually going up the other way. That's because we're going down slower than we were before. So they were accelerating upward right now. And that's the kind of thing that I want to know. Are we going to continue sliding off, or is this an acceleration that's going to change us directions? So hopefully by doing this study, saying which ones are a pass and a fail, we're going to get that insight by averaging out the data at the end in our pie chart. Our pie chart gives us a snapshot for today. So that was a near fail for BTT. This is a near fail just because it's still above these historical prices. And if we're going to get that Bitcoin fight at 6,100 and it's going to go sideways for the next month, that would be when the altcoins are going to do something. So this is a fail for this coin. Bottom formation at a beautiful time in history. CMT, is that the next one? Yeah, also marked as a fail, but it could pick up to a near fail just by getting itself up into the 617 range. And then it's got a really nice, clear place for us to get ready. Beautiful chart levels, so long as it goes higher. Not so good if you're holding it and it's going lower from here. But beautiful places for us to be clearly watching for the Bitcoin dominance to be sliding off, the altcoin market cap in general to be picking up, and these things to be making bottom formations and breaking up. Then I'm going to have more confidence to be jumping into the 1, 2, 3 bottoms in the 4-hour time frame and even on the 1-hour time frame if all of those things are lining up. I like it. CND. Let's go on. Okay. Well, okay, it's a pass still. Civic coin was a near fail. It remains a near fail, but we got just the thick of a green candle there to give every hopeful bull that's holding Civic coin some hope. Dash, it's come off of these levels, consolidated back. So it's inside another. What did we just look at that was like that? They gave us such a nice, that wasn't it. CMT, this is the one that gave us nice technical levels just below the support and resistance and then consolidating to give us something. So Dash isn't quite the same, but that it's down into these kind of support and resistance levels and giving us a consolidation pattern when we are at such amazing historical prices, it is pretty exciting. It is pretty exciting. I'm saying it. Data fail. Decreed near fail, but also a very nice looking chart. Should Bitcoin continue up in this breakdown? Well, there's no need to be holding it. Dent. Where are we? So decreed was marked as a pass in the chart. Let me go to the 3-month view and see why I did that. Okay, it is just up above this. That's kind of, it's on the edge of being a pass or a near fail. I'll just leave it. Dent, I've got marked as a fail in the spreadsheet, and indeed it is. DGD, this one's been getting some really great press from the guys in our chat. Really good tips on this one. As it was breaking out, we had some guys make some nice profits on this. Now what to do in it? I think it's probably going to be going up, but for this study, all we can say that it is a pass. There's not enough consolidation for anything more than the smallest position to start off with, and then you can add on to it later. Take a longer term look on all of these things where it's going to take a bit of time. We're watching slow motion golf in slow motion. DLT is coming back to support and resistance. Very beautiful that it's coming, but it makes a pass in our spreadsheet. DNT is a near fail, as close as you can get to near fail. Man, we got a few of those that are right on the edge. Now, DOC, EDO, ELF, and ENG next are all fail or near fails, right at old historical levels. Really key levels. EDO is a near fail right at historical levels from August. ELF, same type of thing where we're back to historical lows and staying above them. This is all of these ones that are near fails and all the ones that are passes are all markets that if they make a bottom formation and they start to break up from there, at the same time that Bitcoin dominance is fading back and altcoin market cap overall is starting to pick up. At the same time, we're also seeing these near fails that are at a springboard trade entry. If we're seeing them make 1, 2, 3 bottoms and starting to break up en masse, it is an actionable item with a small bit of a trade because there's going to be lots of time to add on to it. Let's do it the safest way possible. ENG marks as a pass in our spreadsheet. For obvious reasons, it's way above these September and October price levels. EOS marks as a pass. It's way up above these levels. It's really getting pressed down, but support and resistance from the past, we'll see where this one turns out. It'll be a key turnaround. I love the key levels it's given us here. Really clean technical levels we've got setting up for us in all of these altcoins right now. Clean bad and clean good on either side. They're really inside such nice tight ranges right now. This range trading strategy is something to highlight. Who knows how long we'll be inside these ranges. Ethereum Classic. This one is, I'm going to put it as, where is it? Ethereum Classic. I'll put it as a pass because other ones in that same situation where they're that much above the bottoms, I've put them as a pass. But I don't like it because it tried to come up above these levels and sort of got rejected right there. So it hasn't given us the same channels and clean setup as some of the other markets unless it starts to make comes up and makes a channel inside these levels. Then we're rocking. That would be pretty cool. Ethereum, really pressing against these levels. It stays up as a pass in our measure as for this chart, but I guess it should be a near fail just because of where it is relative to the more recent times instead of last December. I'll leave it as a pass for now. And watch that one for divergences. Watch this one for divergences. Give me the indicator. So we do have a little bit of a bullish indicator in the last couple days here out of this triple bottom. That would be interesting to watch that and start to turn around and pick up. EVX, just going on to continue. It takes a bit to go through and grade all of these. This one is a pass. FET is a fail and remains a fail. Fuel is a fail and It should be a near fail because it is. The other ones I've marked as near fail, and they were in as rough shape as this. So that's the quantum question. Fun. Fun is a near fail. Gas is a near fail. Wow. It must have been a fail the other day and moved back up to a near fail just as it got up to these levels, but that's pretty lame for a near fail. It should be one tick lower, that's a fail again. GNT, fail. Go. Fail could be up to a near fail tomorrow. GRS is a pass. It's enough above these levels that I have to give it a pass. GRS. Yep, that's what it was. GTO was a fail and remains a fail. GVT is now coming down to fail territory. And I was very excited about this market. It made the pre-pump patterns. It made this consolidation. It had the little breakout go on here. It was such a beautiful setup and just didn't do it. And so your risk control rules of when to get out when that exponential moving average crosses over, that's like just to give up moment and reconsider. When that exponential moving average crosses over on the 12-hour bar, it is something to pay attention to. So this split is not changing direction at all for GVT and Bitcoin right now. GVT is not happy with what Bitcoin's doing, and this doesn't indicate what we're seeing in what we're anticipating to see in the Bitcoin dominance, hovering, going sideways, maybe a little bit up to this level and then sideways. And then that the alt market cap also continues to like get up above this yellow line, consolidate, and make a stage above that. GVT, however, is not helping us with that prognosis. That's for sure. GVT. GXS. Also marked as a pass, even though it had this massive skewer down. I'm kind of ignoring those as manipulation, and I don't know if that's good or not. Let's go on to HC, and it is a near fail. Ta-dum. Easy. This one is a pass. H, that's not listed here anymore. ICX is a pass, but boy, that's a weak pass. So there are a few of those weak passes that should be near fails, and a few of those near fails that are weak that should be fails that are right on the edge. So this is a pass, even though it could be a near fail as well, but it's marked as a pass. IOST is marked as a pass. It's above these levels. IOTA should be marked as a near fail. What are we looking at? IOTA. Yeah, it should be marked as a near fail. Just because it's hovering around these levels where it's below the fail territory earlier, it's got some more staging to do before we can take it up out of the near fail territory for sure. IOTX. Near fail. Down to these levels but not broken. Key. What's going on there? I know this had a bit of a correction. So it's a near fail still. So it's come back. It's come down past fail territories, which sets it over to a whole brand new number one point. We're watching for that contrarian 1, 2, 3 bottom formation and the trend change turnaround if we have it. And if it's just a consolidation and it keeps going, there's nothing to do but just keep watching. And so this has made a number 1 point. It's come up, made a number 2 point pretty quickly. Now we got to wait for it to make a number 3 point and then break higher. So there's nothing to do in this, and I would mark this as a near fail just because it has some work to do to make that bottom to jump up from there. KMD, it is a pass and actually consolidating nicely. One of the few now that's actually consolidating nicely enough that it catches my eye. I want to see the confirmation though. I want to see the confirmation of the break of the downtrend line. We don't have it. I want to see the 1, 2, 3 bottom, and this is so small. That's pretty sketchy. It could be valid. Don't get me wrong. These trade signals are valid. When you zoom into the 3-day view, that's too close. Zoom into the 1 week view so that we're looking at the 1 hour chart. This is a good 1, 2, 3 bottom, and it's showing strength and breaking out right there. It is a valid springboard variation of the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation right there. You just have to decide on what time scale you want to use these patterns. So we have the number 1, we have the number 2, we have the number 3 twice. Then it made this descending, or this wedge, and broke above. There's our springboard trade entry using the 1 hour bar. Super high risk if you are not there to watch it and get your stops up above your entry as soon as you can. As soon as your stops up are above your entry, then you're looking for, where do I add on? Maybe I have $100 to invest and I put 10 in there. It's proved to me correct. I got my stop loss now above my $10 and I'm happy. It's going to maybe mess around here for a bit. Maybe it'll come up and test these levels and consolidate. Then when it's starting to break out higher, I can say, you know what, I'm going to put another 10 bucks on. Because if it does come back here, I'm protected. I'm not going to lose any of my original 10. And it'll even, my profit that I have here is like a cushion to absorb anything if I screw up that second add-on at the wrong time. So hopefully that helps in identifying what I'm trying to do with this and the parameters that I'm trading. So those parameters are valid and they work, but you got to zoom in and then you have to apply the rules on them in a much closer time frame. When I'm doing it on this time frame, I'm often filtered out of moves like this. They don't get me. Everything has to line up, and that will happen, and not everything is lined up, so I don't take action on it. So we'll see how this turns out by adjusting the filters one way or another. At any rate, this one passes, and probably if I was to write up an alert, this would be closest of what we've seen so far in 60 markets. KNC near fail. And it was marked, well, no, it has to be a pass because it is above these levels. It's got to come down lower before it transmits to a near fail. So this is a very rough, like this is near fail. And so near that it's crazy to be listing it as near fail. That's lend. Lisk is a pass. That's Lisk? That's link. How do I get to link? Oh, that's next. Link has come back to the historical highs that it broke out of, and a beautiful place for it to make a consolidation. Again, you could zoom into that 1 hour time frame. Maybe there's something you can see right there, right off of these support and resistance levels. But for my own part, I just mark it as a pass. Our initial entries were back in December, right here. Here and here were our initial entries. Tried a couple add-on positions here that had to be closed. Tried an add-on position here that had to be closed. It didn't make any profit. And then there's nothing else to do. These trades here would have been closed because the stop loss would have been just above those entries. And those are closed in our spreadsheet. Let's go on now. Loom is a near fail. And no chart pattern shaping up there, not yet. Give it some time. This is a near fail and looking terrible. What are we at now? LRC. So it is marked as a near fail. Lisk, marked as a near fail. A little bit of a green tick there, but still not so good. Litecoin is, of course, it's pass right now, but our 12 exponential moving averages crossed over right there. Right there. Dum, dum, dum. And let's just point out the number of times we hit off of this uptrend line. So as that's break, every time it comes to it, I'm just top formation watching. Top formation, jumping out of my seat looking for top formations here because that's the time for it. And as these kind of things were breaking, that wrecked a lot of people, for sure. So one of the things that this exponential moving average cross of the 12-hour bar does is that it filters you out of these kind of panic. It's not time to get out yet. The moving averages haven't crossed over. The top formation has broke, but I want to stay in long enough that I'm in for those big moves, and I'm willing to risk my profit for the chance of more. And you have to decide, where do you put your risk in your trades. What's your philosophy on that? How do you approach that? At any rate, this is a pass in our studies, and I'm going on to Loon now. Loon is a near fail, not setting up for anything. Mana, I'm having a lot more respect for. I like this chart pattern. It's at near fail territories, however. Loon, didn't I just say that was near fail? I got it marked as a pass. Okay, I'll leave it as a pass, but there's another fudge. Close one. Matic, who knows, sort of neutral. MCO was looking great, and I think this is a top formation now. Where we've been looking for these, we've been talking about them in other markets. There's our multiple trend line break. Could be a top formation right here. And then we're looking for that exponential moving average to cross over to cross and stay in it if it doesn't. Get back in it if it does. So here's, okay, it crossed over. We had to get out on this day. Then it crossed again. Okay, get back in and sit and wait for it to cross again, just because we don't know what's coming in the future. The other way is to zoom in more on the 4-hour crosses, but the trouble with this is that you're in and out and in and out and in and out so often. So you have to decide for yourself how these formations and the chart patterns and the exponential moving average crossover line up for every unique situation. So you have all the tools, you have all of the measurement sticks, and then sometimes one stick is worth more than the other in these chart patterns, depending on where you got in. So at any rate, I really like watching for this top formation shaping up here. I'm not expecting it, but if Bitcoin is going up and our dominance is increasing, the altcoin, you know the whole story now. MDA, so that was a pass. MDA is also a pass. It's up here, and I don't like that flag. That angle after a down bit and this sort of angle up usually is another sharp shock down. MDA passes on our general pie chart study. MTF actually has been a fail. It's got a little bit of volume into it, and that brings it up into a near fail in my charts. That's pretty generous right now in that measurement. Near fail. MITH is marked as a fail. If it goes up a little bit tomorrow, I'll mark it as a near fail. I'll bump it up. MTH is also looking like it is marked as near. MTH. It's marked as a fail right now. Could be a near fail if it ticks up tomorrow. MTL is marked as a pass, and it is looking good. I like this consolidation above the support and resistance levels. This is another one of those really better charts where we've got such nice clean support and resistance above and below. The chart pattern, I love it. So this chart pattern just becomes one of my favorites because it's so clean and so clear, and it's made such a nice big move before. There's volume coming into it. I like it. MTL. So there's a very few, like 3 of them, and they're not signals I could even put into our alert package. None of this. Nano. It's a pass, but not a formation to do anything with. NAS, it is also a pass, but looking terrible. I don't like this consolidation here at all. It could turn into something better. And of course, eventually it will. NAS is a pass. NAV, which I was so happy with and so bullish on and so pleased to have nailed such a great chart pattern earlier. Then it come back and just... Welcome to trading. Get your stop loss above your entry. Or watch for these breaks. This was a really big one. This was a huge one. This is the gong that was struck, and I said, no, alts are going to spring back. Oh, yoy, yoy. Now the trend is bigger than just waiting for the spring back. It could consolidate here. That's what we're watching for. Bitcoin to go sideways, a little bit up, and then sideways in its dominance, and then the altcoins to be showing this altcoin overall market cap trend to go up along with this continuing volume. we are in for some crazy stuff right now. If that is the case, then these are bottoms that you'll never catch again. And if it isn't, they're going down from here. And that's what I'm doing this daily study for, so that I catch that. And it's catching right now. We can see it as these things are failing. What is this one? Ncash, marked as a fail. I've got it marked as a near fail, and I don't know why, because it went up that one tick there. Okay, I'll leave it. Pardon me, Nebel. Near fail, down to these levels. Terrible. Neo NPXS, also near fail, but consolidating. So if that this is a near fail, but stopped at the bottom. Nulls. This one's a pass in our spreadsheet. NXS is a near fail, and I don't like that chart pattern. This one is a pass. What is this? OAX is a pass. Nice that it staged and stayed there. That gives me an idea that it may do something like that again, and the popcorn sell orders on this would be prudent. OMG failed earlier, and I've got it marked as a near fail now because it's made some sort of little consolidation. If we're zooming in on this, you can see the break of the downtrend line. This is a valid trading pattern. So there's the break of the downtrend line. There's our 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. A break of this would be a signal to take a position. It actually is a trading signal right there. I don't trade these as often now, and I try to step back into the longer term view, but I invite you to give me your reports on this, because here's another one. What is this? 4 markets now that this is the first one I actually took a screenshot of, but there are 4 markets out of this that have a question, you know, and that you could do something with these trading plan. All of it's right there. Oh, and so where is my OMG is marked as a near fail. Here's one that's getting a little bit of attention. So the more of these getting attention and breaking out of these patterns as we are zooming in through this is fantastic, but this remains a fail for now. It's got a little bit of work to do. ONT is a pass, consolidating nicely above support and resistance levels. So here's, I don't know, number 6 that's giving us support and resistance channels that are madness. Those are wonderful in this kind of time frame at this. Just if we have Bitcoin dominance going sideways and we have altcoin market cap taking off, then we can write the order for this market. I like it. I have to take a screenshot. I should have took screenshots of the other one. Not paying attention. Too excited about everything. So when I move things around in my monitors into the wrong spot, then it takes me a long time to find them. OST. Near fail. Indeed. PHX is a near fail, and then the next 4 are fails after that. This is not listed. PHX is a near fail. Indeed it is. PIVX is a fail. Indeed, like the entire technology is a fail. I won't go on about it, but that's what they say. That's what they say. And they're working on a fix. So this is a fail. POE is a fail, like identical fail to POA. I don't know why. Poly also now down to fail territories. Where am I on my list? Next is power. This is a near fail and so close to near, like, wow. Not giving us that nice turnaround to some of those other markets. Really terrible. PT, I read up on this one, thought, oh, that's so cool. What a great idea. Bought some of it. QKC also near failed just because it's above these levels here, but really that should be a fail. That's terrible. QLC is next. Consolidating nicely, but nothing I could talk about. It's a near fail still. QSP is still a near fail, consolidating but not turning around. I like the channel that we've got in this one. So it could turn into a nice clean entry. Quantum, I kind of liked this project. It got the stuffing knocked out of it, and then it's bounced back up a little bit. So it goes from a fail to a near fail. I can move that up in our chart. There's not much changing here. That's one of them. RCN. Okay. That one's marked as a pass, and it's doing something. That's good. More of these, the better. The more of these, the better. The more of these breakouts, this kind of, I like it. RDN. What are you doing here? Now I'm getting excited. RDN is marked as a pass. Okay. There's 2 or 3 of them there that are so close to, that's not so good. REN, like it's so similar, but I've got this marked as a near fail. REP, rep, this one's marked as a pass because it's up above those levels, yet it is making 1, 2, 3 hits off of a trend line there. We're looking at the 12-hour, and that exponential moving average crossover with a drop out of this level is an exit point. It's a forced exit point for part of my trading studies. I'm watching that as a forced exit point in my positions to override my bias, to override my personal belief, to say, believe it later, we can readjust, but get out when that crosses. And I'm programming myself by doing these videos this way. Let's see if it works. REQ, is that where you're at? REQ is a fail still. RLC is marked as a pass, and indeed showing a bit of strength off of all of this mess of indicators. And I like it because it is bouncing back, giving us the springboard effect out of this range. So I'm hunting for my bias, of course, because should this springboard effect actually persist and exist, it will coincide in all of the cryptos at the same time. It will coincide with this altcoin market cap breaking higher and higher out of this triangular formation. And Bitcoin dominance will have to stay sideways and maybe even ease back. Might we see something in Bitcoin dominance like this coming up? Don't know, but we'll certainly be watching here and monitoring what all these alts are doing with this study. RLC did it. RPX flatline. RVN didn't give me a trading signal I could do anything with. Fortunately, I have some on paper wallet just sitting there. And I'll leave those for years and see what happens. Just leave it sit in the safety deposit box in the bank. I mined it from my computer when they were at 300 Satoshi, so it's all profit. I can just leave it sit. And there's nothing to do in this. It's a pass and nothing to do in it. There's no trading signal here at all. There'd be nothing to jump on. Siacoin, fail. Sky, fail. Double fail, if I could mark it double. Singles is still marked as a pass. It's just above this support and resistance. It's giving us a pretty nice channel. It's one of another one that maybe in time this would consolidate nicely and give us a good clean breakout. And it's just because we have such a nice usage of the in-between level that this is stuck in, that it gives us such a clean trading opportunity. Copy that link and put it over here. Good. SNM fail. Yes. SNT. Wow, that's marked as a near fail, but there's like 6, 7 of them now that are so close to being fails that it's just not fair. Steam is marked as a near fail. Whew. Boy, we're sitting right on the edge. I feel like a Star Trek episode where they just keep working to the last millisecond and save the day. Here's where we seem to be doing that. certainly pushing to the technical limits on all of these, except that we've got a bunch that have broken lower. So Storm is marked as a fail in the spreadsheet. Strat is marked as a fail. Strat is marked as a fail. And not looking good. It's not giving us those nice ranges for any kind of turnaround. Sub has been delisted. Syscoin is bounced, but it's not a tradable pattern for my approach. I can't do anything with that chart. This is actually building up to some nice support and resistance levels, and it's not a 1, 2, 3 bottom, but it's giving a pretty important wedge right there. Let's see what happens with this. It's been a bounce out of wedge type of chart, so we'll see what goes on with theta. But it's a pass when we're looking at our grading. So now the next bunch of them are all passes. TNB is a pass, sure enough. TNT is a pass. It is above these levels, but geez, that could be a near fail as well. If you just were to disregard that, it would definitely be a near fail. TRX is a pass, but we got 3 times off this. Downtrend hasn't been broken. Not looking like it's setting up to go higher. It is at support and resistance levels that are pretty interesting, actually. Right across these, and then right through here. It is pretty interesting. I won't do a screenshot on it. We'll see what happens the next few days. Next, we're going on to VET, which is marked as a pass and barely. VIA, marked as a pass because it picked its way up off that near fail territory. VIB is marked as a pass. Sure enough, I like it. It's actually consolidating pretty nice in this Z pattern here, and then I like it. It's got the bit of a ski, sharp top. Let's see what happens on that. Wouldn't be an alert. 12-hour bar, exponential moving average crossing over too much, so then I would have to filter it for my own part to go into the 1 day and wait for that to cross over now. Looking good though. I like it. Vibe. So it is marked as a pass. Now VIBE is marked as a pass because it's up above these levels, but that's pretty close. Wabi is also a pass. However, top formation is there. We're at the 1 day view, go to the 12-hour, and the exponential moving average crossover has occurred. Some things to be paying attention to in this market right now. Even though it's marked as a pass in our studies for our pie chart, WAN is marked as a fail. Yeah, it's got to give me 2 more days of something before I can take it up to near fail. Waves is marked as a near fail. It could be a pass. It's okay. That's pretty ambiguous. WPR is marked as a fail. Walton coin is marked as a pass. Are we getting 3 times off of this level here too? Is that a top formation? And certainly on the 12-hour bar, for my own part, it's telling me, do it, sell your coin. Now we'll tune in to see what happens later with this one. I'm just following along with what my trading system says, not necessarily what I'm actually doing in my trading. And that's why I do these videos, so that I can compare afterwards and get better at doing what my trading system says. Because look at this, it's coming down to old lows again. So this is a near fail, but boy, there's a whole bunch of them that are so close to failing that I want to do this again tomorrow, because I expect that those are going to pull up or drop down. They are so close. There's got to be a decision. XLM is marked as a fail and maintains the fail roll. XMR was marked as a fail. It's moved up to a near fail and holds. XRP is also a near fail and not looking good. Now we're on to XVG. That I'm going to mark that as a fail. Okay, it is marked as a fail. XZC is also marked as a fail. Yo-Yo is marked as a near fail just because it's holding above these levels from the past here. Crazy. Should be a fail. This one is a fail. ZEC is a fail. Zen actually looking pretty good. Let me take a screenshot. Stick it in there. Just for pondering, not an actual trade signal, though it's one of the closest that it is a 1, 2, 3 bottom. It is making a springboard entry 1, 2, 3 bottom right here. The moving average is almost crossing over on the 12-hour bar view, and for certain sure it's already crossed over on the 4-hour time view, where we would already have this as a buy signal here. Pretty cool. Was this the last one now? ZRX is marked as a fail. I'll leave it at that. So now May 2nd. Let me drag this over. We have 55, 54, 38, no 37. So a bunch of those that were passes have slipped to warnings, near fails, and our fails have decreased a little bit. We'll see how this turns out over the next few days. And I hope this has been helpful for you to go through not only everything on Binance, but also the initial start where we were studying and keeping a point of reference on the difference between the altcoin market cap, the altcoin price, and the Bitcoin dominance, and what those three things will do to play together. Hopefully this has been helpful. We know what to watch for the next few days in this unlisted live stream that is just for our alerts subscribers and our lifetime members who are also on the alert subscriber list. I appreciate you guys being here. You make it all possible. So hopefully this has made a difference for you in your trading. It's helping you make a decision here today in cleaning up parts of your trading and getting your plans in place. And I can't wait to hear your success stories. All the best, and I'll sign off for now. Cheers. I didn't even check the chat, but that's okay.